All right, here is the Deco AXE5400. This is from TP-Link, which is a reputable brand, of course. This is a major product, and they sent it to me. They wanted me to check it out. They were like, oh man, you know what you're talking about. I go, that's right. And they were like, how about we check it out? No, but I do have experience. One, I do have experience with actual professional networking. Two, previously had the Google Wi-Fi, which I did not like. And then from the Google Wi-Fi to the Nest Wi-Fi, I also didn't like. And then I upgraded to the eero mesh system, which admittedly I've had no problems with, but I always want to have the latest and greatest. And they said, do you want to check it out? And I was like, of course I want to check it out. Let's take a look, baby. So let's see what's inside the box. I have a, family man. I got a lot of devices in my house. I have an older house built in the 60s. So it's not a great, I think, for Wi-Fi traffic. I don't know what's in the walls. Probably a bunch of dead squirrels. I seen prior to getting mesh networks, I had a lot of problems with Wi-Fi. The Google was hit or miss, but again, the eero has been pretty solid. And we're looking to go to the next level here. So this is the latest and greatest Wi-Fi 6E. So let's check them out. Very cool looking devices. Nice packaging, tells you your steps, turn off your modem, plug in the modem in the Deco, install the app first, then unplug your modem, and then plug in your Deco. So the devices themselves have a DC power port. There's 3 different devices here. On the back, we have 3 Ethernet ports, which I like, all 3. There's a little reset hole there on the bottom in case you have some problems, I like that. On the front, it just says a little Deco 6E logo. It's white cylinder with a black top. The design of your Wi-Fi is not always top of the mind. With the mesh network, they will be spread throughout your house, and it's usually harder to conceal these guys. Like I'm in my basement. That's where my main setup is, so it's no problem hiding my modem and my main router. But the other 2 will be out in the house. One's in my bedroom and one is in the living room. So yeah, if they're gonna be spread throughout your house, you want them looking nice. They're gonna be part of your decor, essentially. And these, I think, do look cool. Maybe that's an inspiration for the Deco name, I don't know. So it does speeds up to 5,400 megabits per second. I have gigabit Ethernet, so it should be fun. Covers up to 7,200 feet. My house is not that big, about 1,600 square feet. But again, my house is almost a Faraday cage, not by design. It just happens to work that way. And it connects up to 200 devices. I do have a lot, not that many, but probably have 50 devices in here. So that's the way I'll do it. I have one in the basement, which is like the center of the house, one by the television, which would be on the far right side of the house, and then one in the bedroom, which would be on the far left side of the house. And then the main hub will be in the basement here. That would be nice. I do like having extra Ethernet ports because the eero only has 2 Ethernet ports. And if I'm not mistaken, the Google Wi-Fi only had 1 port. So with each one having 3 ports, down here I can have one going straight to my modem, one going to a network switch, and then one going directly to my main machine, so I get the full power to where I want to be. Or if I wanted to run to like a Raspberry Pi for like a Pi hole or something like that, no problemo, right? And then upstairs I have a TV that's actually Amazon Fire TV that has an Ethernet port and an Xbox, so both of those can run off this guy. And I'll have 1 port to spare. It could go with my Nintendo Switch. Bedroom, I'll go to a Roku and just have a spare, I guess. But anyhow, we're looking forward to checking this guy out. I think it's gonna be nice. So let me get some stuff set up here and we'll come back around. All right, so here's my Razer Blade 17, the 2022 model, which does have Wi-Fi 6E, and this is still connected to my eero. And let's just run a speed test here. This is in my basement, so this is probably the closest test I'll be doing to a router. Really not great speeds here. I should have a gigabit service. I am probably 20 feet from my eero. Now I am in the basement and there's a lot of stuff here. I got lights, camera, action, baby. Anyhow, I got lots of electronic stuff down here. There's 3 other humans in this house using the internet too. So let's do a second test here. I'm gonna test 2 other rooms in the house. I'm not gonna do any of these tests directly next to the routers because that's not realistic, right? Most of my devices are not directly next to the router. So in the basement, I have one, and then I have another eero in my living room, and I have one in my bedroom. But I'm gonna test here in the basement, of course, and then I'll test in the living room, but not next to it. And I'm gonna test in my son's bedroom, which is adjacent to my bedroom. And so getting better speeds here. We'll do a 3rd test here, and that'll probably be the end of this test. So yeah, about the same. Well, better upload speed this time. All right, so not better upload, but all right, let me test other spots. All right, here's a picture of my living room. You can see Santa Claus. Sadie's coming to visit. Might not be able to do 3 tests here because I have a Great Dane wanting to knock my camera over. So this is again probably 15 to 20 feet from the eero router, and this one's at terrible locations inside my entertainment center, so probably not the best airflow. Fairly consistent speeds with what I'm getting downstairs. All right, we'll do one more test. All right, so there is our second speed test, 257, 355. Again, this is the living room, still on the eero Pro 6. All right, here we are in my son's room, the very loud air purifier behind me. There's a little Amazon Echo. So essentially kind of the same story, right? Somewhere around that 300 range. And again, from my house, I should be getting a gigabit up and down with AT&T fiber. All right, there we go. Just 2 tests. Now let me go swap them out. All right, so here we are. We're gonna connect these. And this little steps here, it tells you to download the Deco app first. So let's go to the Play Store. You can just scan it, but I'm just gonna look for Deco. Step 1, download Deco. TP-Link Deco, I guess that's it. So install it and give it a shot. So open, you gotta accept some stuff. I'm gonna create an account, I guess. I had to log into the app. Let's begin. And then I have, there we go, AXE75 items. I need to turn off my modem. I'm not gonna show that on camera because it's a huge mess over here. I'm just gonna straight up unplug the power. Boom, unplug my modem. I am also going to now unplug the eero that I previously had connected. Obviously, if you for some reason don't have a modem, you don't need to do that, but I do have a modem, so I will do that. Now I need to plug in my devices. I'm pretty sure it doesn't matter which one. I think they're all same kind of brain power. I don't love that it's not a detachable cord here, but I'll take it, I guess. So I plugged in the Deco. Now I need to plug in the Ethernet port. So there's a green light on my Deco. All right, so now the Deco is flashing blue. Solid yellow light, pulsing blue. Deco's ready for setup. We got Dobby over here in case we need some help. All right, let's know my location. All right, so I'm connecting. Now we're connecting. There we go. It says connected. We're gonna make this the, I'm gonna do custom. Make change that into basement studio. All right, now we're connecting. All right, and next, here's a little tip for you. Maybe not the most secure process. I guess it varies depending how secure your shit is or your stuff is already. But if you just reuse the same SSID and password, all your devices should magically reconnect. All right, so now I just need to plug these other units. They should automatically be connected. I'll move them, but I'm just gonna plug them in here just for the visual, of course. All right, so now let me plug this guy in. And I plugged them in. Oh, so it looks good. So I can see my basement's online. So this guy went connected. The main one on the side here says it's green. This one's still blue flashing. Let me go back here. All right, so here we are. We're gonna launch the Deco app again. I had a firmware update, so I was able to update my devices. So I haven't done anything. I use the same username and password. We'll see if the Razer will connect automatically. I use the same SSID and password. I had to power cycle my printer. It didn't recognize it right away, and it looks like it did connect automatically. I'm not gonna count this as the real speed test, but I'm just checking to make sure it's actually connected through this one. All right, so it is connected and it's getting much better speeds. I still haven't gone through all the settings on this app here, so I don't know that I wanna count that necessarily yet, but so far, I mean, I do like that, better speeds. Well, look here, you can see all your routers. So I named the basement one while I was setting it up, and then on the devices themselves, there is a name and number on the bottom of it. This Deco 3850 is my bedroom one. So I do like that you can see your devices on here. I don't know why it shows my Razer Blade twice. Deco 3850, there we go. I can change the name to bedroom and we'll save it. All right, so that works better. And then I'll change this one to living room. So let's look at the app, right? There's a service you can subscribe to. I'm not gonna do that just yet. You can do a smart home service if you wanna control more smart stuff, but I don't see any reason to mess with that just yet. Parental controls, so I don't need this anymore because my children are grown, but this is a great service. I think I've used this on other devices before, and it's always been nice. Like, you know, when I had kids that were still school age, you can set them up. There's no reason my son should be on the internet if he's in middle school or grade school. He doesn't need to be on the internet at midnight, right? He's supposed to be in bed at that time frame, so I would set the internet time control off of there. Also, I've used it before, you know, you can just turn their device off the internet. So, you know, if someone's getting online, you can be like, all right, if you don't behave, I'm gonna shut off your device. Oh, there you go. You can set up a guest network. So I can turn on the guest network. You can make it whatever you want. So let's just, I'll make it Taco 2016. How about that? It just names it your name and guest. But you can change that, I guess, right? Yeah, so you can change it. I like that, but I'll just leave it the same one. All right, and then you can have a block list, right? If you want to block a device, that's pretty good. You can run some reports if you want to see them. I haven't had any reason to yet, just opened it. Deco Lab will give you some extra features like Wi-Fi Assistant. Here's a hint that Wi-Fi, public Wi-Fi is nice. Oh, it does have WPS. That's interesting. So you could turn WPS on or off for 20. That's pretty neat. I like that, like a software version WPS. The internet connection, you can set it to ignore pings, which is nice. You can turn on IPv6 if you want. You can do enable QoS if you want. You can change the priority of your devices. That's interesting. Advanced operation mode, you can make it router. So there's a lot of settings in there to look at. Connection alerts, I like this, right? So you can get an alert when new devices connect. So, you know, if someone comes over here and connects to my network, I would like to know about it, right? And you can make it not let you know when a known device is like, so my son comes every day, I don't need his alert. I mean, I could do it, like if you want to know what time. Like I work in the basement. A lot of times I keep the door closed so I have meetings. If I want to turn on my alerts, I can know every day when my son comes home. That'd be nice. I'm not gonna do it, but you could use it. But new device alerts is nice because that way I would know if one of my kids gave out my password or someone got on my account and somehow, you know, got on my network. I could see when a brand new device is connected and I can be like, get off my network. I can change the LEDs, you know, LED off time. So like at nighttime, I can turn the LEDs off. That way, if you don't want to see them, one of them is this my bedroom. If I don't want to see that light at night, it can turn off at 10 p.m. and come back on at 7 a.m. That's a nice little touch. You can update the system. I've already updated it once. It tells me I'm currently up to date. And again, this is my main device. And say I'm doing some important stuff, which is what I'll always do, of course, is important stuff. I can mark my stuff priority. Or I can tag it to a profile, right? So like I said, like when I was talking about blocking accounts, I could tie all these profiles to my son's account. And if he gets in trouble, I could just block my whole son's profile and then all of his devices wouldn't connect, like his phone, his laptop, his Nintendo Switch. I could block them all from the internet. Or I could just always make sure my stuff is more priority than his stuff, right? Probably pretty good. Oh yeah, so there, if I wanted to block it, right? If you want to click block right there, you could. Yeah, so I can see right now connected to my network is my Z Fold. This is my printer, my son's Pixel 6 Pro. I don't know why my blade's in there twice. That I don't understand, but it is for some reason. And in the bedroom, I can see it's probably an Amazon Echo, someone's phone, 2 Rokus. In the living room, another Android and my Ring camera. So you can run a little diagnostics on your network. My password strength is strong, port forwarding is disabled. My get network is enabled, but I can disable it when not needed, and I will. I'm gonna turn it off right now and I'll turn it back on. Like I have people working in the house sometimes, I'll let them get on the guest network and that's what I'll do. So let's rescan. Yeah, so I'm getting a good check here. Channel congestion, that's a pretty neat little check. Perfect, all right, that's good. Oh, here you can just see all the devices in one list, which is nice. That tells me everything all at once. I can see what's on the individual, the bedroom, Deco, or the living room, or the basement. I'm used to being able to run a test on the device from here. Like in theory, this main basement Deco is tied to my modem, so I should be able to test it just so I can see just via Ethernet how fast the speeds I'm getting directly to the device itself. But it doesn't seem like a way to do that. Let's get into our test now. So remember, we were getting obviously same desk, same camera, right? I'm gonna go ahead and run this test. We'll do 3 tests back to back. Same distance from the Deco as it was previously. Yeah, and we're getting way better speeds. So again, in fairness, the eero, it was not 6E, and this one is, as you can tell by this gigantic 6E on the box, that this is 6E. That is impressive. I like that, right? So now we're getting some really good speeds. Not a lot better, maybe even worse upload speeds, but download wise, we're getting stellar. I think it's a shorter ping. I think before I was 17 milliseconds. All right, so again, another top tier. Interesting that I'm not getting as good of upload speeds as I did before. And let's do our third and final test at this location. Yeah, so again, not the best upload speeds, but I don't know that's any worse than I was getting before. So that's another reason I would like to see if that was a better speed on the other side. Let me test in other areas of the house. All right, so now we're back in the living room and let's run a test. Still getting 700 down. I don't know if it changed decos or not. Sadie's come to investigate. All right, let me kill the internet. Just want to make sure. Now we have no internet connection. Turn the internet back on, and we are connected. All right, so I don't know if that made it change or not. Sadie came to visit. All right, see if Sadie approves. So still crushing download speeds. We'll see if we get any better upload speeds or not. Yeah, I mean, still about the same. Nothing bad there, right? That's perfectly acceptable speeds. More than acceptable, really. All right, let me go ahead and move to another room. All right, back in my son's room, which has the loud air purifier, Amazon Echo, and probably smells like farts. Still a little speed test here. So still better than I believe with the eero. not as good with the Deco in the other 2 rooms. But, you know, obviously nothing to sneeze at there. 658 over download. Wi-Fi is pretty good and about on par with the upload speeds. I don't know why the upload speeds aren't much better throughout the house, but they're not bad, of course. Do one more, and then we'll head back to the basement. And then we'll be interested to try this out plugged in through Ethernet. Shouldn't make a difference. I might get better speeds, of course. All right, so again, overall, I believe better speeds. Let me get out here and go back. Now this room that smells like farts. All right, so at this point I've had the Deco installed for about a week or 2. I've had no problems with my internet. This obviously is back in my basement, same original setup. Let's just run a Wi-Fi test and we'll see where we're at. So about the same. I mean, this is better, I think, than the eero. The Deco was around the 700 mark for. Well, getting better upload speeds now. All right, so that first day we were getting pretty bad upload speeds, but now we're getting, maybe just settled in, or I don't know. It is late right now, so no one else is online except me. Well, I guess we're back in. So again, not bad speeds at all, not max potential, but still pretty good. Overall, I'm very happy with the product. I don't have any qualms, but we'll do a little wrap up here. All right, so here I am on my Dell XPS 9710, and I am tied to the dock, and it is Ethernet, and that's going to the Deco directly, right? So let's run a little speed test here. All right, so now we're getting closer to what I should be. So I have gigabit internet here, and so obviously this is not what it should, quite a gigabit, but I mean, it's pretty close, right? I don't know why the upload's being so weird either. I've ran this test about 800 times here, and way to go, that's a good score. It's just looking funky. I'm doing a lot here. I got a lot of stuff recorded at once, so maybe that's part of the problem. This is on my Samsung Fold, and I have the phone in the smaller version instead of the expanded screen because the app does get a little wonky here. I don't know what these little top pieces here, this little speed section in the middle here, that's not how fast my network is. Maybe it's just how much traffic's running. I did check with my contact at TP-Link, and they say there's not an option in the app to run a test, which I wish you could speed test it directly from the main router, but you can't. So you click on here, you can see your Wi-Fi settings. You know, you can set your guest network up. You can see your password there. You can share it, of course, pretty standard stuff. You can hide your Wi-Fi if you would like. Here you can see your guest network. You can turn it on or off, which is nice. You know, I can turn it on here, or if I want to turn it off, right? So if I have someone coming over, I want to turn it on, I can. This little middle section here, like I said, it tells you what, I guess, current traffic. You can kind of look at the individual ones. So there's the living room, here's the basement one. You can tell what's all connected to them, so that's pretty good. And it tells you the MAC address and IP address and stuff like that, and signal strength. And this main one, you can just show it as a list or a map view. It seems like you should be able to click right here and see like the actual network speed, but I guess you can't. Here you can see how many clients are online currently. Some of my might see folds what I'm recording on. There's a bunch of other stuff. You can go in here and change names. For example, this is my Amazon Echo Smart Plug, right? And if I wanted to assign it to a family member, I could create a profile and assign it to them, or I can change the name. I can change the device type. So it's an IoT device. I can change it to any of these if I want to. You can change the name. So I can just say Amazon Plug and then save it, right? And I'll save it. So you can change it whatever you want, right? You can make it priority. So that's pretty nice. Like say this was my computer or something like that, and I wanted to give it priority over all the heathens in my house. I could turn it on and make that go priority, right? Like here's my laptop. If I want to give my laptop priority, you can. Oh, so you can set your total bandwidth, what you're, getting from your provider. So for me, that would be a gigabit on both sides, but I'm not gonna do this now. I don't really need it. There's not enough people in my house to make it priority, right? Smart homes, if you want to turn on some smart home stuff. So you can just add TP-Link our Philips Hue devices currently. And I do have Philips Hue, but I don't have it set up yet. And plus I wouldn't control from here anyhow. That's not something I'm looking to do. I mean, you could set it up so like, I mean, it's kind of cool. You could set it up so when it recognizes, like say it recognizes my phone comes home, it then turns on the Philips Hue light, which is pretty nice, but I don't need that. Security does this weird little scan animation, and then it tells you some stuff. It tries to get you to upgrade to the other stuff, which I'm not doing, and it just tells you some. I really don't want to use this tab. It's no risk for me. I don't know, it's silly. Parental controls, I don't use this anymore, but when my children were younger, like I said, I did set this up to set their times that they were allowed on the internet, or just, if they were getting in trouble, I could just turn all their devices off from a setting like this. Go to the more section, there's Deco Lab. There's this little Wi-Fi assistant guy, and it looks like you can run Wi-Fi. You can do test speed, but it's not really testing. It does this weird little game, right? So this is kind of neat. But I really don't know what it's testing. So like here, the test is telling me that I did 136 megabits per second upload and 136 download. That doesn't make any sense because if I go to the speed test, I'm gonna get way faster than that. Yeah, you can see I'm getting like 300 something. And I've done this multiple times and it's always faster doing a regular speed test instead of that little test in the app. So I don't really know what it is other than like a little game. I don't think it's optimized correctly. So yeah, I normally get faster speeds than this. I don't know why that's going so slow now. This is kind of neat. It can detect if there's cameras in here. I don't know how it actually does it, but in theory, it should check if someone had like a rogue, I guess it's just looking for a rogue access point maybe. I don't know what the mechanics are here, but if it works, I guess it could be beneficial to you. Yeah. So no cameras found. Scan for devices is just gonna look for devices. I don't know why you wanna, how that's different than other ones. These are just tools that you can use in there and they could be beneficial. They're kind of just like bonus points really. You can run Wi-Fi diagnostics to see how your Wi-Fi signals are. I am quite literally 3 feet from the main Deco router, so I would hope I would get pretty good test right here, but it's still saying fair, but I don't know if that's accurate either because my phone shows full bars on it, right? So again, we know from, looking at the screen, I just tested, and on Ethernet, I'm getting 906 megabits per second. So I know that this test here is just testing, I guess, the phone, but still not even accurate because I get faster tests. So I don't know. It's nice they offer these things, but they're not quite accurate. That's all in the lab section. So you can go through a lot of this stuff. I think I might show this for the WPS. You can just turn on real quick, which is nice. You can do network optimization. This one I wanted to point out. So the LEDs is nice. You can turn them off and it does work. Like I have one of these in my bedroom. So for at 10 p.m., I can turn it off. So it goes off automatically every night. 10 p.m. and comes back on 7 a.m. next day. I will say one complaint I have is that the light on the Deco is like a bright green color instead of like on the eeros it was like a smooth kind of white color and it didn't stand out and it looks weird. It doesn't blend in as well as like a nice smooth white light would be. Anyhow, there's a ton of stuff you can do in this app. I've had no problems with the service. It's been perfectly fine for me. I'm getting better speeds than I was getting through the eero. I think that's just probably because my eero was 6 and this is 6E, but either way, I'm glad to have it. I appreciate they sending it over. Leaving it in, this is going to be my everyday router from now on, so or at least until the next major upgrade, I guess. But for now, I'm not going back to the eero. I'm going to keep this. I like it. It's been good for me. All right, that's it. Thanks for checking me out.